You about to lose your job. Hey, you about to lose your job. What's up, my loves? What's up, what's up, what's up? Hey, I'm getting money. Hopped up out of bed, turned my swag on. Took a look in the mirror, said, what's up, what's up, what's up? Hey, I'm getting money. Soon. There we go. There we go. What's up, my loves? How are we doing? What's up, Denard? Hey, Irene. No, not Scott and Tinsley. Oh, God. Tinsley, I hate to say this, but I knew. If y'all watched my last review, the one where she left, and I said I was happy that for Tinsley, she got her fairy tale, but I wasn't sure she was making the right decision. And I wasn't sure that it was smart for her to give up a job that was real good for her to appease a man. Damn, Tinsley! Damn! Oh, man, I feel bad for my girl. You know what, Pseudo Chic? So many people are telling me that they're not getting notifications. I don't know what's going on. Maybe hit the notification button and like unnotify and then notify again. Maybe that's what you got to do. Turn it off and turn it back on again. Hey, Vodka with 3 olives. Yeah, she was really trying to make it work with him. Tracy said, Nikki, are you doing a live reviews of the Real Housewives of New Jersey or recorded? Either way, I'll do either way. Like if I don't have any time, I'll do a recorded, but I'm still going to review the Real Housewives of New Jersey, just not today. What I'm going to do with the Real Housewives of New Jersey, the same thing I'm going to do with all these housewife shows. If I'm tuning in and you don't give me anything, I'm not going to do a review, because why am I going to do a review about a pool party? Jen got drunk at a pool party. I mean, it was fun, but there really wasn't like anything to talk about. What, Dolores' new booty? She gets a new butt every season. What are we really going to talk about next week? I'm reviewing next week, because that is when Margaret is going to be exposed for the one bringing that rumor to the show, because a messy husband let the men know that he was the one who heard the rumor from his home. That's the one I'm going to review, because Margaret went crazy. She was like, shut up, don't you say that, because she was being exposed. I told y'all. I said that was the reason why Margaret was like trying to dead this rumor and being the mediator, because they could have met at anybody else's home. Why they have to meet at Margaret's home? Why was Margaret the one trying to make sure that they left there in peace? She was freaking out listening to Teresa and Jackie get into it, because Teresa heard it from Margaret. Now that's the episode that I will be reviewing, but I'm not going to review them just having a good time. Not like anything's wrong with that. I'm glad that they're having fun. And, we always don't have to have drama all the time. But if there's nothing to talk about, I'm not going to do it. What? Teresa's eating pineapples, talking about she want to have a sweet coochie so Tony could eat it. Okay. It's not newsworthy, Teresa. You had your butt out since episode 1. We know that you looking for some peen. That's not review worthy. But next week I'll be there. Hey, Soprano 2, what's up, Jimmy G? Jimmy, I can't give you another hit. I can't. I think you'll see probably, if y'all follow my socials, you'll probably see why, but I can't. Yes, Irene, we're going to talk about Sharon Osbourne's ET interview, because from jump, I'm telling you, we'll break down the whole episode of The Talk. I watched that episode and I was like, oh, you're not coming back. I knew from that moment. Then she did that Entertainment Tonight interview. I was like, there's not only is she not coming back to The Talk, she has no career at CBS. She burnt it down. Your mouth, Sharon, your mouth gets you in so much trouble. Poor thing. You and Chris Harrison, y'all talked yourself out of some good checks. Yeah, Margaret is messy. Hey, Yvette, but we love her. Margaret is messy, but she's sweet. That's why she doesn't get called out on it all the time, right? Because she's just a sweet, likable person. Oh, Pretty Kitty, we're about to get into it. After she did the Entertainment Tonight interview, I was like, you don't want to come back? This is the thing. I'm telling you, people need to do their research, because a lot of people just think that CBS is a network, right? And that's it. CBS owns so much stuff. You think these networks are just making money off of TV? They own the TV network and then some. I'm like, not only did you burn your bridge with CBS, you burned your bridge with everything that CBS owns. Foolish. Why would you do that? I already knew you weren't coming back, but at least they probably would have paid out the rest of your contract. You going to war with them, you not getting what you're owed. And you don't have enough money to fight that $1 billion company in court. Why don't these people don't like money. These rich people don't like money like they used to, because baby, ain't no way I would have messed up that check. This woman gets like a couple million a year to sit on TV and give her wrong opinion for an hour a day. Monday through Friday. You work 1 hour. We'll call it 2 because you got to get there early for hair and makeup. And breakfast, the free breakfast that they give you if that's what you want. But I ain't messing up my money. Hey, Danielle. Hey, Sean Savia. Hey, Alex O. Oh, yeah. Yeah, guys, let's send up some prayers, some positive thoughts, some joy. If you can on any of your socials, please share and give some support to the Asian community, specifically the Asian American community. Since, Trump took office and since, COVID, there have been a rise in attacks against the Asian American community because there's pure ignorance and racism. And then we have the slaughter that happened this week, where we see, and listen, as a Black person, y'all know I get it, right? Unfortunately, I'm kind of used to this stuff, but to see another community suffering in such a way where they are watching their slaughter of their people be rebranded as, the murderer having just a bad day. Unfortunately for me, the fact that they were rebranding it, that he just had a bad day, that wasn't triggering. I expect it from America. I'm a child of American genocide. I expect it, right? But to see it so fresh with another community, I was just like, yeah, I'm numb to this. That I should feel like this every time, right? Because if you go back to, I believe it was 2017 when Dylan Roof walked into that church, that historically Black church, and slaughtered 8 people after he prayed with them. He prayed with them, and then he took out some semi-automatic gun and shot them all dead. And it was rebranded as him just having a bad day. A lone wolf who they took to Burger King. And then the judge who was sentencing this man scolded the families of the people who died. He actually said this after one of the survivors said that she forgives Dylan, right? And she said that she only prays good things for him because she knows that he was wrong. And she gave this whole speech where she just cried, and she said that she forgives him. And then after she spoke, that same judge reprimanded her family and all the families of the victims who wanted a harsher sentence for Dylan. That's what it's like to be not white in America. And my heart goes out to the Asian community who is dealing with that right now in real time, saying that the dude had a bad day. I'm so sorry. There's no words to say, because as a Black person, I can't tell you it's going to get easier. I can't tell you that there's going to be a change. You're going to be in a fight for your life. That's just, unfortunately, the burden you have to carry as a non-white person in America. Y'all going to have to get louder. Y'all going to probably have to go through this some more. But after weeping, there's victory. After weeping, there's victory. Joy comes in the morning time. I love you guys. I can't say it's going to get better, My hope is that it gets better. And my hope is that we as a people of color community and allies, non people of color allies, come together and, do what we have to do to make this world a better place, a safer place. In America, that we show the world that we are, right? You're right. You know what I mean? You know what America sends out to the rest of the world. Let's really be that. So my heart goes out to you guys. Thoughts and prayers for real. I don't know what to say, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry this is happening to you guys. But I love y'all. I really, really do. And my hope is that it will get better. My hope is that we will do our part so that you all can feel safe yet again in your home country. You're not late, African Rum Punch. I didn't start. Just, acknowledging our Asian American community who is, going through it right now because of the terrible act that happened earlier this week. Proshien said, "This is why I'm so afraid of moving south." I know. I face too much mess up north, and down south just sounds like an entire new beast. As somebody who is planning on moving to Atlanta, I'm telling you right now, as a northerner, I was very ignorant to what I thought that I would experience. There are a lot of good people in red states trying to do the right thing, who are very loving and accepting. It's just, because of the Civil War, we just have very ignorant ideas of the North and the South. There's racism all across the globe and especially all across America. You will encounter it everywhere, but I'm starting to get a different understanding of the South as I continue to visit more and want to place roots down there. So my advice to you would be to find a place that you want to live in that area and spend some time down there and see if it's a good fit for you. I don't want you to blanket the South as one just huge racist place, because there are a lot of people of color in those areas doing the work to move, their area forward and doing the right thing. So find your tribe and you'll be okay. You will be okay. Jimmy G said the same cop supposedly posted. Yes, he didn't supposedly. They found his Facebook. And he posted an anti-Asian post on Facebook. And, I won't even say what it is, but we all know what, the former president was calling the coronavirus originally, and still some Republican members of Senate are still calling it that. I don't know if they'll keep on saying it now, because there's repercussions to their words and the repercussions are 8 people losing their life. So I don't know if they'll keep on saying it, but who knows? They, a lot of these, politicians pander to a very ugly audience. So I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't go away. Cameron Knight said the guy who made Robot Chicken recreated that scene on one episode's in Strawberries and Shortcake scene, and Cartoon Network snatched the show right off the air. Ooh, wow. Oh no. Yeah, guys. We're going to keep this first part that we're talking about. We're going to keep this in support of the Asian American community. Asian people across the globe, especially Asian American people who are being affected by this. We are not going to talk about anything else. We're just supporting them, period. Nothing else. No other discussion is coming from that. Yeah, and if you're a person of color, especially if you're Black, you're gonna experience racism everywhere. Colonization has reached far. You're gonna receive it everywhere you go, but you're not gonna receive it from everyone, or every area. It is what it is, unfortunately. But I say go, travel, see if it works for you. Don't be afraid. You did nothing wrong. You can be disappointed for the people who do those things or make, ignorant and racist statements, but don't feel bad. Like, we hold ourselves back from so much because of other people's ignorance. Travel, move to where you want to go, live your life loud and proud. Don't stop being you and being a better you for any demon in hell that got a problem with it. It's their issue, not yours. Yeah, just go to the places. I'll be very honest. I was very ignorant about the South. And here I am moving to Atlanta, right? And my sister's over there looking at Texas. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? But, we've been staying in different areas and we really enjoyed our time. Oh, yeah. I'm so sorry, Simply Simone. Oh, Latoya, cuss the families out and said that they should be feeling sorry for Dylan and that his family should be crying, not theirs. Not theirs. I think there was actually a petition that I signed to get him removed. Not sure if it was successful, but I made sure my name was all up and through there and my email. Not yet, Chocolate Capricorn. I told you COVID put a pause on that for right now. The way that Atlanta was handling COVID, not sure. We're still going to look and visit. I'm going to wait. What my family and I have decided to wait. The move is still happening, but we're going to wait to see who the next governor of Atlanta is. Of Georgia. Yeah, Atlanta of Georgia is, because we're not moving there under that governor. Absolutely not. Yes, Christine said, I agree. Don't leave this world with a life unlived based off of fear. Amen. I definitely grew up with that conditioning, but it's important to break that narrative. Absolutely. Me too. Me too. The judge sounds like Sharon Osbourne. Come on, Latoya. Let's bring it back full circle. Let's bring it back full circle. But again, Asian American community, we love you. We are, we feel you. We understand. I understand. And we're going to fight with you. We're going to fight with you, as we all should. Love y'all. Let's get into the mess. Alex O said, if y'all want little doses of Nikki and want to check out NikkiStar Reacts on Twitter. Yes, Alex O started that. Thank you so much, Alex. Yes, NikkiStar Reacts on Twitter. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's who I'm waiting for, Simply Simone. If the next governor of Georgia is Stacey Abrams, deuces, LA, at least, partially. I'll still be here. We'll still keep our home here, but I am going to Atlanta. We definitely have to stick together. All we have is each other. And it's more, it's more people of color. Like, the majority of the world is people of color. But, we got some stuff to work out. But I think it's getting better with the generations. I do believe that. That's coming, Chocolate Capricorn. That's coming. That is coming. Absolutely, Toya. As soon as I feel like it's safe for me, and everybody involved, but I'm just saying I don't yet feel safe with getting out in them streets yet. But as soon as, I come to a place where I feel like it's safe to gather, I'm definitely doing meetups all over. But I got places that I'm going. Atlanta is one of them. Sure, they sure are, Irene. I'm proud of us. I am proud of us. Let's get into the foolishness that is Sharon Osbourne. Guys, if you I want to make sure I have this. I'm over here talking. Did I actually do it? If you want to follow along with me, I put in the description box everything that I'm going to talk about in this live concerning Sharon Osbourne. If you want to follow along. Oh, no, I didn't do it. Let me do that right now. So if you want to check the description box, I'm going to do it right now and update it. I have clips from the interview. I have clips from her saying some problematic things on the talk. I want to put that in here right now. The full talk episode, the link is in there for that if you want to watch that before you get started here, and just watch that and come back if that's what you want. It's a lot of commercials. I will give you that. I was like, CBS going to get their coin. So the two links that I have is the full talk episode. That's the first link. And then the second link is Sharon Osbourne stating that Meghan Markle is not Black. That was when some of the issues started for her. And I couldn't find the clip of her and Eve. I found the transcript, but I could not find the clip of that. but that is in there as well if you want to follow along that way. Oh, we got a super chat before I start. Hey, Alex O. Alex O said, no more Osbourne family. Society has progressed past the need for the Osbourne family. Absolutely. And guys, they were popular when a lot of us were very young and ignorant. Now, that show could never come back. Thank you so much for the super chat, Alex. And follow NikkiStar's Reacts. Alex runs that. She created and runs that. Thank you so much, Alex. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is talk about the Talk episode and what actually happened for those who have not watched it. So the Talk is like The View, but it just has, different women and different opinions. It gives me more entertainment than The View. I think The View talks more politics than the Talk, but it's pretty much the same kind of formula. So this episode opens up with Sharon Osbourne addressing her tweet that she sent out to Piers Morgan. She sent out a tweet in support of him after he walked off his show after that fine weatherman dragged him for filth for being such a brute at work and being so, dogmatic in his attempt to take down Meghan Markle. And Piers Morgan got upset because the fine weatherman, child, when I finally get over to He-Ho London, I'm going to see about him. Nikki, focus. He spoke about how Piers Morgan was really obsessed with Meghan Markle, the Duchess. How he, is saying that, they actually went out on a date, but when he continues to tell the story, it's actually they had drinks, and the drinks was about a business opportunity because not only was Piers married at the time, Meghan Markle was on her way to go on a date with Prince Harry. I can't even fathom that this man believes that he actually had a shot with her when later in the day, even without Prince Harry, but later in the day, she had a date with the prince. You think that you had a shot? Are you mental? But he goes off with that idea that she snubbed him for the prince. Nobody but Piers thinks that he had a shot with Meghan. I don't even believe that Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, was at this, having drinks with him, talking about career stuff. I don't even think that she was thinking that this man thought it was a date. Because to be quite honest with you, she was doing international press. And that is what so many entertainers do, right? Because American money is good. International money is even better because everybody across the globe got more money than America. If you want to tell the truth and shame the devil, we just make y'all think we got it. We live in ghetto fabulous over here. Okay. We are real blingy, but we are on assistance. Okay. Public assistance. So you want, especially as an entertainer, you want to get that audience as well. So Meghan had filmed a movie over in the UK and she was doing press for that, but she was also auditioning and, meeting up with agents there, meeting up with press people there. This is insider tea from a person who used to work with her. So doing all of that to gain more international, to gain a greater international fan base. That's what she was doing. That's what all entertainers do. It's like YouTubers meetups, right? I'm doing, if I have a couple of fans over in Tokyo, I'm going to go over there, see what the energy is like, and I'm going to meet, my fans over there and start building. Because if I got fans in Tokyo and I got fans in America and I got fans in Brazil and I got friends in Istanbul, I'm starting to create a global fan base that will not only enhance me career-wise, but it will enhance me financially. That's what the girl was doing. This man thought that he was married. Nobody talks about that. That he was good and married, thinking he was on a date with Meghan Markle. Because everybody just stops at the fact that he really thought he had a shot with her. Okay. He was definitely a part of the press at that time. She was meeting with the British press back before she knew how they would drag her if she tried to get into the royal family. But here we are. So when Mr. Fine Weatherman, if you're watching, no ring on his finger, He brought that up. Pierce got sore and walked off. Okay, not gonna do it. I'm gonna get out of here. His feelings were hurt. He jumped up and he left. Right after that, this dummy hops on Twitter. First of all, how do you watch everything that he did and then decide you're going to tweet this and say, Pierce Morgan, I am with you. I stand by you. People forget that you're paid for your, she didn't say this, but I'm going to say this, your wrong opinion. She says, people forget that you get paid for your opinion and that you're just speaking your truth. She should have left it there, right? She hops on her show. Her show, and I say her show because she was the lead at this time, not anymore. She hops on her show at the talk, forgetting that she's in America. And then America is writing for two people from the royal family. Well, three people from the royal family. Princess Diana, that's our girl. You forget who raised us. You forget, like everybody is talking about the Barbs and the Beehive. Let me tell y'all something about the Diana Spencer Hive. The People's Princess Hive, our mamas. They raised us. Y'all think we crazy? Talk about Princess Diana in front of our mothers and see what happened to you, right? So she forgets that the Princess Diana Hive raised us. So she forgot where she was at, right? So she decides to open up talking about that and saying that people had a problem with what she said on the show. Then it turns to people on Twitter to Pierce. And she was saying, well, everybody under there is saying that I'm racist. Cheryl, she kept on saying to homegirl that she's her friend, right? She was saying to her, it was the fact that you spoke out in support of somebody who has said extremely racist and misogynistic things. And this is not something new because when Pierce came here to our show, The Talk, Sharon, I told him that on the show and after when we had a discussion. I told him that I did not like the things that he said because they were racist and they were misogynistic. And he told me, and Sharon was just like, well, what did I say? And Sharon was like, he told me, oh, that's not it. That's not what I'm saying, right? So Sharon Osbourne hears that, right? But then she does not address that. And she says, well, what does that have to do with me? So then Elaine jumps in and tells her, well, when somebody like that is being held accountable for the things that they have said, the very awful things that they have said, and you hop in and say that you support him, that means that you're supporting your friend and what he says. So even though you didn't clarify your statement, because she's just like, well, I don't agree. I said that a lot of things that he said about Meghan was awful, and I did not stand by that. But you didn't tweet it. That's the issue. You did not tweet it because let's be clear, a lot of people who are coming after you aren't watching The Talk. You're on Twitter, which is a younger platform. So when Pierce Morgan is being held accountable for his viral clips dragging Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, dragging her, that's what people are seeing, and that is what people are commenting on. When he's defending articles that says that she's straight out of Compton, when he is defending articles that says that she's sexual and says that she has a tone, when he's defending that and adding on to that, that's what people are saying. And then you come out in support of him, and then everybody starts dragging you, not for being racist, but for supporting a racist or a person who has said racist and misogynistic things. And that is why he's being held accountable. When you come out and say you support that, then people start looking at you and say, oh, you support this? Okay, so now I got a problem with you. I was going to cuss him out, but I'm going to put him on pause, and now I'm going to drag you. That's just life. It always happens like that. If Cheryl was on that stage talking about Bill Cosby and saying, oh, I know that he's probably going to prison for the things that he's done, but I still support him. I still think that he's a good guy. People forget that he's extremely talented, and he made a great TV show. We're talking about a man that's going to prison for rape. The hell with your support. We don't care, because when you say that you are supporting this person that has done awful things, you're saying to hell with the victims and to hell with his actions. I'm supporting them as a person. Any way you slice it, even if that's not how you feel, it's what you said. So you're disregarding the racism. You're disregarding the misogyny. You're disregarding the abuse. You're disregarding the fact that that woman had to call that network and say, enough is enough. Every day, that man is saying awful things about me. It is affecting me. I cannot leave my house. I'm thinking about committing suicide. You're saying, forget that. Let me support him. So that's what they're trying to explain to this woman. She don't want to hear it. All she's hearing is, I'm racist. So then she starts to get in this emotional spot. So let me go down piece by piece, right? Because she then says something where it's like, I'm not supporting Pierce and everything that he says. I'm supporting his freedom of speech. Freedom of speech does not mean freedom of consequences. And I'm not going to keep on trying to explain that, right? Because the people who are saying I got canceled for my freedom of speech, you know exactly what you're doing. You're trying to throw that excuse over and act like you don't know what freedom of speech is. Everybody who brings that up in defense knows exactly what freedom of speech is. They just don't want to be held accountable for their mess. So they try to confuse what freedom of speech actually is to make it seem like, oh, that's what I thought it was, so I don't know. So they're going to throw ignorance out there, but they absolutely know what they're saying when they do it. So Sharon is here, Black women, be so kind and explain to her what is the issue. Oh, like OG, they're explaining to her what the actual issue is, but she knows she's playing dumb so that she can get out of it. Like I told you before, I had no idea, but there's forgiveness in ignorance. So that's what she's doing. So she's just like, oh no, but I wasn't saying that. If you wasn't saying it, why didn't you put it in there? If this is what you meant, why didn't you write it? You said that you support him, and people forget that you are being paid for your opinion. That is what you said. That is why you were getting dragged. Now that you've had a full day of being dragged and CBS set you down and said, oh, you better fix it. Because if companies and brands stop playing commercials during our show, we're going to have a problem, because that's how we all eat. So you better fix it. So now it's, oh no, I wasn't saying that. I was saying that he has, freedom of speech. Knowing what freedom of speech is, but because your first avenue that you took was not working, now you're going to play dumb. Now you don't know what freedom of speech means. You can say whatever you want, right? But you have to be prepared for the consequences. Like when people try to get in the N-word debate with me, listen, if you want to say the N-word, go right ahead. But you have to be ready for the consequences. Now, there may be a Black person you can say the N-word to, another like, oh, you my N-word too, and we family. And then you might say it to another Black person and they pop you in your eye. If you go to the wrong area, they're going to shoot you. You know what I mean? But that's the consequences. That you still have freedom of speech. You can say whatever you want, but the consequences that come with that, you have to own it. Just like Pierce had to own it, right? And he paid with his job because, like I said before, I don't believe that he walked away, that he quit. He sat down with ITV, who that day alone had 40,000 complaints from that man, and they weren't even into an hour on their show. They sat down with him and said, listen, we like you. You've given us a lot of views. We've had a good run. But what we gonna do, because we like you, is let's end this contract. You can have your severance. You can go on about your way. But we can't go on like this. So it is a firing, but we're going to let you say that you quit so that you can keep your money and you can keep your status, and we won't have no love loss. There was no way that after what that man did and after those 40,000 complaints in just a couple minutes, about his behavior that he was going to stay there long, especially after he talked about how that woman was dressed. And she stood up and twirled, and he was talking about her legs and her body. And then his co-host, who was sitting next to him, the way she was reacting every time he went after Meghan Markle, she was trying to defend, trying to be very kind to him and saying things. And then you see the woman getting exasperated. Then you see the woman rolling her eyes. There was no way he was saying that job. Absolutely no way. But they let the man go in a way where he can still get hired again, where he won't mess up his resume. Even if he's saying some whack stuff, at least it wasn't a firing. It was, but we're not paying out your contract. So he had freedom of speech, but this was the consequence. But this is the consequence, because now people are responding to what you said. So now you're going to play in our face and play dumb. And that's where she went wrong. So then, after she defends Piers Morgan for writing a check that his mouth writing a check that he couldn't cash, she then goes to say, well, he's not racist. And then Cheryl and Elaine say, well, how do you know that? That's when she started stuttering, because they were like, how do you know that he's not racist? Well, he hasn't said anything racist to me that I know of. Then that does not mean that he isn't racist. That doesn't mean that he doesn't say racist things. He hasn't said racist things to you, or things that you perceive as racist, but that doesn't mean that you know this man's every thought, every intention, every word that he has spoken out of his mouth. Because you even said the receipts that Cheryl and Elaine gave you, you even said, well, I didn't hear that. I didn't know that. But here you are again, writing a check with your mouth that you will not cash because you're going to lose this position. She keeps on defending this man after the two Black women on this show is trying to save her. She's still not backing down from the foolishness. From the minute that they both said that he has said racist and misogynistic things, you should have been like, oh my God, I had no idea. Oh, I'm so sorry. If people thought that I was defending that, I was not. But you go, well, he hasn't said anything racist to me. You're white. You're white and wealthy. Of course he wouldn't. Of course he wouldn't. And if he says something racist because of who you are and where you stand and the status that you have and the privilege that you have, would you really have perceived it to be racist? Then, poor Amanda. She's a sweetie. She is like Amanda, who's the new host. She actually was the young woman who's a former Rockette who lost her husband, who was a Broadway star to COVID. So we have all been on this journey with her, but I actually know somebody who knows her personally, and they just have nothing but praises about her. Her and her husband were just New York City darlings because they were just very kind and successful performers. She, tries to jump in because she sees that Sharon is getting frustrated. She sees that Elaine is getting frustrated. She sees that Cheryl is now shutting down from this conversation because Sharon is being so bullheaded and so difficult. Amanda hops in and she's just like, well, we all, have friends and family that, say, well, specifically friends that say things, that say awful things that we don't agree with. And Elaine was shuffling her cards. And when Amanda said that, Elaine was like, and I was like, Amanda, just shut up. Just shut up, please. Don't be on a firing chair with Sharon. Just shut up. And after Elaine did that and looked at Amanda, she was just like, because she knew that I don't think that Amanda was defending Sharon and the ignorant things that she was saying. I think that she was just trying to help everybody involved. And when she saw that her help was making the situation cloudy, because I'm just like, sweetie, we all don't have friends who say and do awful things. You know what I mean? Even if we end up having one like that, a lot of us get rid of them right away. We don't remain friends with them. Even after, Sharon is being presented with receipts about Piers, she still is defending this man as her friend. So there is nothing too awful. There is nothing too low for this man. She still will defend him because he's her friend. That is Sharon Osbourne, right? Before I go on, we got a super chat from author Deanna Dean. Said Sharon was acting mighty white. That don't you dare cry sent me to the moon. She was definitely giving off privileged sentiment. Definitely. Thank you so much, author Deanna Dean. Thank you for the super chat. So after Amanda sees Elaine, she jumps out of it, and you don't hear from Elaine for the rest of this from Amanda for the rest of this foolishness. So as Sharon is getting out of hand, like she is just getting irate at this moment, Cheryl, who steps out of herself, did not have to, and tried to once again explain to Sharon, and she calms it down and she says, as your friend, I am telling you why this is happening, what the issue is with what Pierce has said. And Sharon is like, whoa, no, you're not trying to help me. You're not trying to help me. She's just like, as your friend. Cheryl kept on saying, as your friend, trying to comfort Sharon and let her know that this is not an attack. I am your friend, and I'm telling you, as a Black person, why he's problematic. Sharon doesn't want to hear it. Before I go on, let me acknowledge my cash app from Alex, who said, thank you for this energy. Thank you so much, Alex. Thank you so much for the cash app. Right? So, Sharon at this point seems like she gets it. She agrees that the coverage was problematic, but she's still not backing down from defending Pierce. She's starting to lash out at this point. She's becoming extremely irate. She's victim blaming. Guys, it got so bad that this woman got so out of herself. She started screaming at Cheryl. Not only was she screaming at her, she started cursing. How I know she started cursing is this. They cut her audio and they pulled the camera back. So they went to an extreme wide shot. The shot was so wide, you saw the backdrop of the show. So you saw lighting, you saw cameras, you saw audience seats. Like, they never show this angle. What was happening is that the producer, who's in everybody's ear, has now lost control of the show. So what the producer said was, pull all the way back, because Sharon is cursing at this point and they don't want to get in trouble with the FCC. So they pulled back and they cut her audio, because what they did not want was for us, the audience, to hear her cursing, and the audience watching on TV, because I know the audience inside, I know they made them all sign NDAs before they left that building. Anyway, they did not want to hear. They did not want us to hear Sharon cursing, and they also did not want us to be close enough to read her lips. So she said some awful stuff at work. You're at work. You got too comfortable, girl. She said some awful stuff for them to cut her audio and pull so far back that we can't read her lips, that they're exposing what the show looks like. They never expose off the set, because they want to make you believe that you're in, like, you're being invited into somebody's actual home. They never pull back and let you see all of that. Let you see let you see behind the wizard's curtain. They never do that, but they had to, because the producer has lost control of Sharon. So when they come back, Sharon's just like, well, I'll explain the rest to you when we come back from commercial. Still being a professional. When we come back, you see Sharon leaning over, screaming. So the producer at this point has to be going nuts, because he has lost control of his talent, but he has to come back to the show, because they are obligated to have this amount of time. They cannot cut the show short, because they have already sold the show's time slot to several commercials, to several brands for commercials. So they need to have this many minutes so we could have this many commercials. Everything is already paid for, which is why if you watch the Wendy Williams show, after she passed out that time for Halloween, the reason why they still came back and still finished the show is because they had already sold that hour to several brands who had commercials playing through that show. So they had to come back. So I know the producer at this point was going nuts, because Sharon was still irate, right? So then we come back, and then Cheryl is trying again. I don't think she's trying to explain to her at this point. I think she's just trying to calm it down because I know the producer can only get to her. I know right now she's the only one that could calm her down. And I know that producer is screaming at her, not in anger, but in desperation. Please, please get her back. So Cheryl is trying to calm her down. She's no longer defending, no longer explaining to her what Pierce did was wrong. She's just trying to get this woman back to earth. Sharon is too angry because after they bring her audio back in, because she's been cussing this whole time. That's why we've been focused on Cheryl, and that's why we have not heard her audio. When they bring her audio back in, she said, I've been screaming, I've been asking you during the commercial, educate me, tell me what I did wrong. And then Cheryl is trying to educate her because that's what she asked for. Don't you dare cry. I'm the one who should be crying. You as a privileged white woman is saying this to a black woman and you think you keeping your job in 2021? You think you keeping your job? So then Elaine tries to jump back in. She can't get anywhere. Cheryl can't get anywhere. You see Elaine over there just done. Elaine is no longer interacting with this woman. And here's why I think Elaine stopped interacting with her. Because professional Elaine had left the building. Elaine was having that conversation that every black woman has with herself. And she's just like, is the check worth it? Do I really need this job? Do I have bail money? She was thinking of all of those things. So she just stopped talking, which was smart. So Sharon they can't control her anymore. So again, they go to another commercial. I'm like, Sharon, you don't want this job. You don't want this job. We come back. Cheryl is visibly shaken. We know that Sharon has been screaming the whole time. She's been crying because her eyes are bloodshot. She's like, has this tissue that she is like ripping to shreds with her nails because she's so emotional at this point. And I do want to get into this one thing that Sharon did say to her that I knew was not going to go away. I'm telling you, when I watched it, I was like, oh, this is going to go viral. This is going to go viral because Sharon at this point still doesn't get it. After all of this woman still doesn't get it. She says to Cheryl, after Cheryl and Elaine have explained to her what's going on, she says to Cheryl, so tell me this. And this is and I need you to answer me this to a black person. I need you to answer this for me. And I need every white person in the world to listen because I know this is something that we think about. Cheryl, if a white person doesn't like a black person, do they automatically become racist? Because I need to know this. Gaslighting 101. She has spent this whole time killing her career and deflecting. You have turned yourself now into a full victim and has brought the whole white community in it with you. Because I know there were white people in the audience who was just like, girl, don't bring me in this. Don't do this to me. I don't need it. And the only reason why she did that is, in my opinion, I think she knew she was already out there. So who is she going to pull from? The white community to bring in another conversation that has nothing to do with the foolishness that she has just displayed yet again at her job. You talking all that freedom of speech, but you're at work. You are at work acting a plumb fool. Elaine don't even bother to answer her. Cheryl is just like, no, that's not the case. What happens is, well, I'm trying to understand. You don't want to have a conversation. That's why you're yelling. That's why you're crying. That's why you're deflecting the conversation. You just want Cheryl and Elaine, the black people on this show with you, to tell you that what you did was right, that you did nothing wrong. And because you're not having that, you're unraveling. And you're about to lose your job. Anyway, and And since Sharon want to play dumb, I'm gonna say no. That does not mean that if you don't like a black as a white person, if you don't like a black person or a person of color, does not make you racist. Like we all know this. She's deflecting and playing dumb with these comments because she's commenting and asking questions solely based on race when this is not the time for that conversation, nor is it the important conversation at hand. The important conversation is why would you sit there and defend somebody's racist and misogynistic comments and then come on the show and play dumb in front of the face of the world and two black women on your show and one who considered you to be a friend? Not anymore. We will find out later on. So she has made the show at this point completely uncomfortable. Cheryl has shut down. She is not her normal, fun, bubbly self. She is exasperated. Elaine just ain't even. They're not even covering Elaine anymore because she is done. Elaine has checked out of the show. You can hear very loudly Elaine let out a sigh when Cheryl was trying to talk to her. She had changed her whole demeanor. Cheryl had changed her voice. She had changed her body. She had done all of this to make Sharon feel safe, and it still wasn't enough. Before I go on, we got a super chat from Robin. Robin said, hit dogs always holler. They sure do. They sure do. That woman, thank you so much for the super chat, Robin. That woman was exposed. And so she was trying to do everything that she could to garner sympathy because she knew she was already out there. She knew that she was already out there. So she has now made the show uncomfortable. You can hear Elaine go like just a loud sigh, which said so much with no words. It said everything from that sigh and the way her body was. That let me know that Sharon had let these women have it during commercial. If this is what they're showing us on camera, we know that during commercial, she was out of her damn mind. Hold on, because my phone is about to die. You're about to lose your job. So now, child, I haven't got my stimmy. So all these companies sending me discounts. Not yet, baby. Miss Nikki can't buy nothing because Joe Biden playing in my face like Sharon Osbourne was playing in Black America's face this week. So now the conversation can no longer be had. Sharon is like out of her damn mind. It's not even going to happen. Lisa Vanderpump. Poor Lisa Vanderpump. She had to come after this segment. So Lisa Vanderpump comes on with her drink and she's like, hello. Oh, I'm so sorry. I heard a bit of it. I felt so bad. Let me tell you something. If I was Lisa Vanderpump's agent, I would have told her cancel. Do not come on. This is not the time to promote your show because she spent the majority of her segment trying to save Sharon because Sharon is like, oh my goodness, it's so good to see a kind and sweet face. So now you're saying that the Black women who were trying to educate you on the ignorance that you said are not kind and are not sweet. You got a problem with your words. You say stuff that you never want to be held accountable for, which is why I'm not shocked that Pierce is your really good friend. Because you got a problem with your words because you don't understand optics. Maybe you don't understand race in America. I don't know what it is, but you've been over here long enough to get it. So I think at this point, you're just playing dumb because you're sitting here and saying, oh, I feel like I'm being held down in an electric chair. And then as soon as Lisa Vanderpump comes on, you say to this white woman, it's so kind. I'm so happy to see a kind, sweet, and friendly face. After you just had this heated discussion about your ignorance with two Black women, you got a problem with your words. You don't know how to handle them properly. And poor Lisa Vanderpump, she was just like, oh, Sharon is so sweet. And I love Cheryl because of Sharon. And Sharon, she introduced me to Cheryl and we had such a good time. And Cheryl loves you, Sharon. And Sharon loves you. Poor woman. She could not even promote her little show because she was thrown into a race war. I would have canceled. I would have never opened up my Zoom. You're not dragging me and my little show into this. The devil is a liar. So then Sharon spends the rest of the show crying. This show, I'm telling you, you guys have to watch it. It's so uncomfortable. It is so uncomfortable. She spends the rest of the show crying. And I'm like, why are you crying? You opened up the show defending your mess that you tweeted. I would have just opened up the show with an apology because I like money. I like money, especially if I'm getting paid a couple of $1 million to sit and give my opinion, whether right or wrong, for an hour on TV Monday through Friday. I'm getting paid a couple mil for an hour's worth of work a day. And I still got the rest of the damn day to do whatever I want. I ain't never messing up a check like that. I ain't never messing up a check like that. You opened the show defending Pierce's comments to people who believe that what he said was racist and misogynist. Girl, I ain't never messing up a check like that. I will say I did not base my opinion off of what's going to happen with Sharon off of this one episode. I did watch the previous episode, and the only reason why I wanted to bring it up is because Sharon, she supported Pierce after she got off of that show, right? The show prior, she was so articulate in explaining her support of Pierce, but disagreeing with the things that he has said, because this was not the first time they had this conversation about Pierce Morgan and his ignorance and the things that he has said. She was explaining that Pierce is a royalist and that's why that's why he has that idea. And, you know, a lot of royalists believe in a very archaic way of life. I learned so much from her the prior episode. And I'm like, why didn't you come with the same energy? Why weren't you this understanding and kind? Guys, I'm telling you, if you watched the show before, she was so eloquent and understanding. I don't know where this rage came from, because she explained so much, still talked about her defense of Pierce, but was very clear that she did not agree or like what he did to Meghan Markle. And then the other ladies brought up the reason why they had an issue with him for the racist and misogynistic things that she had said. And she said, oh, I don't support that. Why didn't you pull from the day before? Why did you come on your job? At this point, I think your only job, guns blazing. Why did you do that? I honestly think she had a reactionary reaction from being on Twitter. And I'm not defending Sharon Osbourne in any way, because what she did was awful. I will say this. I've been reactionary on Twitter. It can happen, right? I don't even have a large following that she has. There are just trolls. They're awful people who will say awful things. I do believe that there are people who commented under that tweet and got her together and who were right? And who either were saying it in anger because they were hurt and that's their right, or were trying to educate her. But I also believe that there are people who are attracted to negativity, are attracted to somebody's pain and downfall, who probably was under that woman's Twitter comment saying some nasty things that actually got to her. Because it can happen to you. It can happen here on YouTube. It can happen in the chat section. Like, that stuff happens. And I think she probably read far too many negative tweets from people who just wanted to get a reaction out of her. And I don't think they were prepared for the reaction they got. And I think she probably did it and then, hopped on camera. Not smart. Not smart. I'm not saying don't read the comments. I'm saying if you do have to read the comments, don't digest the negativity, because you can spot negativity from somebody trying to teach you. You can also spot negativity from somebody being hurt by what you said. It's very distinctive. Negativity is a very distinctive demon. You know who's talking when they say what, right? And how they say it. So I just think that she read that and she hopped on this show and she jeopardized her check. I thought she jeopardized her check, but then she went on Entertainment Tonight and just canceled it. She said, I don't like money, so I'm going to get rid of it. And I feel so bad because she just was so eloquent, and I got it. I got what she was saying. And I, as a Black person, wasn't offended because she just got it right the day before. It just went far left for her. Now let's get into the Entertainment Tonight interview, and then we will get into why I think that she's not coming back, coupled with everything else that she has done. So in this, oh, you know what? Let me stop. Before I get into that, I do want to say that right after all this stuff was happening, see, you got to go through the world being a kind person. You really, really do. Just kind and being a good person. Because if you go through this world being awful and mistreating people, there are going to be so many people waiting to finally be heard when you are having the downfall of your life. And as soon as this happened, Holly Robinson Peete jumped on Twitter. As soon as that clip of her berating Cheryl, who was her friend, she still says that. As soon as that clip went viral, Holly Robinson Peete jumped on her Twitter and she said, "I'm old enough to remember when Sharon complained that I was too ghetto for the talk. Then I was gone. I bring this up now because I was mortified watching the disrespectful, condescending tone she took with her co-host, who remained calm and respectful because she had to. Because we all know that if Cheryl matched Sharon's energy, she would be out before Sharon. Welcome to America." That's just how it is, right? Then somebody started, I'm telling you, there's always somebody waiting, even if you're good and you do good things, there's always somebody waiting for your downfall. But when you are an awful person, there's more than a somebody, okay? There is a tribe of people waiting to take you down. So then all of a sudden, a series of tweets from Leah Remini started going viral. And this is not something that Leah Remini tweeted, recently. This was in, I believe, 2012. One of the tweets said, Sharon thought that me and Holly, because Sharon released a statement, but I'll read that after. Sharon thought that me and Holly were ghetto, her words. And she had us fired, all while calling us her friend. Heartbreaking. And then Sharon fires back at Holly Robinson Peete in a tweet that reads, in response to Holly Robinson's tweet, Pete's accusation of me getting her fired from the talk, I am sharing an email sent to me from 1 month before after she was let go from CBS. As I have stated before, I have never had the ability or authority to get anyone fired from the talk. She should not have released that, right? Because, did I take a picture of that? Did I take a picture of that? Because it was a long email. I did. I'm gonna try to get through this as quickly as I can. So the email from Holly reads to Sharon, "Hi Sharon, hope you are enjoying your time on Madly. I have called you a few times, but I haven't heard back from you since the show aired. I've heard that you, like everyone else at the talk, are under some sort of gag order. Happens at every TV show, especially when somebody gets fired. A few brave souls have called me to wish me well and tell me that the show is like a communist state where all are paralyzed in fear of the wrath of Julie Chen, who was married to the president of CBS, Les Moonves, who has been released from his position for being extremely problematic with women. I have never seen anything like this in my life. The irony that you were the first one to quit and we end up getting fired is just crazy. CBS is doing behind the scenes damage to my career with other studios and networks. Again, not CBS, but Les Moonves, who was, running CBS at the time. And now Les is getting in the mix, commenting, lying, and defending Julie. Check it out here. She posted a link. Les Moonves is also the one who is on record saying that he will destroy Janet Jackson's career. Almost did it, but you can't keep a Jackson down. I know you are in a tough spot. I'd be lying if I said it didn't sting that you haven't returned my calls, but I get it. Naturally, Leah is very angry and believes you turned on us and you are not true to your words about your feelings towards Julie. We will get into her feelings towards Julie. She feels that you are as weak as Sarah and that you all have been sipping the Julie Kool-Aid, but I told her that you are just looking out for yourself and scared of CBS less, blacklisting you like they are doing to us right now, like they also did to Janet Jackson. If you are angry that I complained to CBS about Julie and the racist comments, I apologize, but I owe it to my family to stop trying to stop these venomous lies from Julie. I am now being told that I may need to take legal action to get her to stop trashing me. Sharon, I do really appreciate you still honoring your invite to my mom and Ryan for, I don't know what AGT is, America's Got Talent. It meant the world to Ryan. But don't worry, I promise I won't put you in any more awkward situations anymore, so as not to put you in a bad space with Les and Julie, because trust me, it's not a fun place to be. Holly sent this to her before she got insider tea from Leah Remini that Sharon was the one who actually complained to Les and to Julie and got them both fired. Sharon denied that, and then out of nowhere, this is why I'm saying you got to go through life being a kind person, a clip of her, and I can't play it because of the audio and I don't want my channel to get a strike. But in the clip, she basically says to Leah Remini, "You are loud and ghetto." To Leah Remini. And this is why I love Leah Remini. Leah Remini was just like, yeah, I'm proud of that. I love Leah Remini. Anyway, before I go on, we got a super chat from Nyla's Bling Room. Nyla's Bling Room said, Sharon ain't worried about that change. She's worth 200 million. She's still not smart. Is Sharon worth that or Ozzy? Because, you know, he's been trying to divorce her for years. He got a whole woman on the side. So is it Sharon or is it Ozzy? Either way, she's still set. Either way, she's still set. So maybe she just don't need it. So she doesn't really care about money because she has so much. Thank you, Nyla, for the super chat and for the tea. Thank you so much. So I guess because after Sharon released that statement and showed that email, Holly clarified her tweet, and then the clip of her calling Leah Remini ghetto started to go viral. She deleted that tweet. So you can't find it anymore. So she deleted that, right? Then all of a sudden, Yashir, I don't know if you follow him on Twitter, but Yashir Ali, he released his findings from a investigation that he did on the racism going on at CBS and the talk. And during that investigation, he found out a lot of stuff about Sharon Osbourne. And this is what he had to say. Let me go over to there. There we go. Child, he done got up all this information about Armie Hammer. I'm not venturing over there. I'll talk about millionaires, but I'm not going to put my mouth on no billionaire family. The devil is a liar. The devil is a liar. Okay, so the first thing that he talks about here is when he was on his investigation, he has spoken to a lot of sources. So one of the main things that he talked about was Sharon Osbourne's polite racism. So on the talk, Sharon Osbourne would frequently refer to then co-host Julie Chen, who was Chinese American, as wonton, and I won't say the other part. It's basically about her eyes. This is according to multiple resources, including Leah Remini. Osbourne also referred to former co-host and executive producer Sarah Gilbert, who is a lesbian, as a pea licker and fish eater. And this is according to multiple sources and Leah Remini. She also has been known to make very ignorant statements. She not recently, but on her show, she made a comment about, do I still have that up? Justin Bieber. And basically this comment, because I can't find it right now, but this comment was about him when he was spiraling. He had, pissed in a bucket at, I believe it was a McDonald's. And she made a comment about him. Again, I have the clip, but I cannot play it because of the audio. But if you Google Sharon Osbourne and Justin Bieber, it will come up. She basically said that he... You know what? I'm not going to basically this. I'm just going to bring it up. Hold on. Because I don't like when people do that. So let me not basically. I want to give you all the full statement. And again, I think this is also Sharon Osbourne trying to be funny. And I think that unfortunately that happens with a lot of people who are not funny, who are not comedians. Then when they try to get into that space, I talked about this on my Vanderpump Rules review when I was talking about Stassi and her podcast. When they try to be funny, if you are not naturally funny and if you are not a comedian and you don't have that talent, you will just reach for awful things to say. So it's very easy for a person who is not naturally funny and is not a comedian and is not crafted in that area, who wants to get in that area, to become a shock jock or somebody like a shock comedian. So they'll say like very misogynistic and racist things, and they'll say it against communities that are not protected, so they won't get canceled, right? So I think that's what she was trying to do, because at this time, a lot of the mainstream media was giving Justin Bieber just a bit of the Britney edit, where they were going after him for everything that he did, especially the things that he did with his posse at that time, which was a mainly black group, mainly black posse that he had at that time. So this is what Sharon Osbourne says about Justin Bieber, because on the talk, they were talking about him pissing in a bucket at a restaurant and getting into it with the security there, who caught him doing it. Sharon Osbourne says, I feel really bad for him. There's this little kid with a huge dream. He's cute. Girls love him. And he wants to be a mean boy. And he's about to be he's about as mean as a effing kitten. And he's trying to act out. It's like, oh, we're the bad boys, she continued. F off. You don't know what bad is. And I think he's lost. I really do. I think he doesn't realize that he's white and not black. That's a huge problem. And at that point, he's in his career. It's so dangerous because we've all seen it before a million times. Where do you go when you're a child entertainer and then you want to transition to be a man? Very few make it. And then another clip of her surfaced where she is talking about Meghan Markle. This is at the time when she was dating Prince Harry. Eve was on the show at this point. I wouldn't be surprised if Eve left because of her. But anyway, because that was a good check for Eve. Anyway, she says the black women on the show are talking about how Meghan Markle, the Duchess, is getting this treatment because she's a black woman. And Sharon Osbourne pipes up and says, black, where? She's not a black woman. I don't see a black woman. And she doesn't look black to me. And Eve said, well, her mother is black. And Sharon Osbourne said, yeah, that's true, but she's still not black. And Eve was like, that's a conversation for another time, and we are not going to have it. Coming up, and she just went right to commercial. So Sharon Osbourne has been problematic, right? But she wasn't a problem for CBS, the viewers at that point. She was probably always a problem, but they did not have this to go off of. So when she lost it on her show, that's when everybody who had probably been waiting for her to mess up started tweeting, started finding clips of her, started giving interviews. And now this interview from 2011, this, research on her and her issues from 2011 is now resurfacing, and all of these things are coming out. That right there had already put the nail in her coffin, right? Then Sharon Osbourne decides to sit down with Kevin Frazier from Entertainment Tonight and make her situation even worse. So she had already, sealed the nail in the coffin. The nail in the coffin was already, in Sharon Osbourne's coffin because of the stuff that was coming up about her that had already been out there, and there were receipts. The coffin was sealed when she sat down with Kevin Frazier, and she goes on and she basically says, and I'll put the clip of that interview in here as well. I have it, but I didn't put it in my description box. But she basically says to this man, and I'm only basically because I can't show you the clip. She basically says to him that CBS, this $1 billion network, set her up, because she says there was a moment when Carrie Ann Harbor, I believe, she is one of the dance coaches on Dancing with the Stars, or a former dance coach on Dancing with the Stars. I'm not sure if she's still there. If my mom was here, she could confirm that, because that's her show. She said that the producers, so now it's the producer's fault, right? The producer and CBS is setting her up. So the producer gave Carrie Ann a question to ask to the Black woman on the show. And the question was, and the woman didn't know about it, right? Elaine and Cheryl didn't know about it. The question was, if if Black people are using the N word in music, then how come non-Black people can say the N word? And she addressed it to Cheryl and Elaine, and they read her for filth. As they should have, right? They got her together and she started crying and she was really heartbroken. And she said after the show, Carrie Ann let her know that the show made me do that. Because when I was approached with it, this is what Sharon says, that Carrie Ann said that when I was approached with it, I said I didn't want to do it, but they made me do it. And she said that all the ladies sat down and had a pact after that conversation and said that we will never give each other questions that we know are hard, that are like gotcha questions. We will say them, but we will prepare each other for it. So Sharon is saying when she sat down and Cheryl started asking her questions, she looked at her like, I can't believe this, but my friend is setting me up. And then Kevin Frazier was like, you think she set you up? And she was like, no, I don't think it was her. I think the show made her ask me them questions because as I look over to her, she's looking down at the card and she's asking me a question. And then Elaine is shuffling her cards and looking for questions to ask me. Lie. It's a lie. No, I was not there. No, I'm not the producer. No, I'm not CBS, but I watched the damn show. You opened up with that topic. She said as she was walking up to start off the show, the producer, who is the bad person, asked her if she wants to talk about it. And she was just like, oh, sure. I'll talk about, my tweet that offended a lot of people. Sure. She said, but I didn't know that I was being set up. They asked you if you want to talk about it. You opened up the show talking about the subject. Cheryl did not ask you a question. If you go back and watch it, Sharon, you turned to her and you were saying, I'm not racist. Do you guys think I'm racist? That's when she chimed in. And the only reason why Cheryl chimed in is because you looked at her. Because when Sharon Osbourne asked the cast, her coworkers, people are saying I'm racist. I'm not a racist. I'm the least racist person out there. Am I racist? Dead silence. If you ask people in the room who know you, if you are racist and nobody says anything, even Amanda had her cards and she was just like, and I was like, oh, okay. So nobody's going to say anything. So then because there was dead silence, Sharon looks at Cheryl and go, am I racist? You set your own self up. Because then Cheryl does say, I don't think you're racist, but you're supporting somebody who says racist and misogynistic things. She never looked at no cards. You looked at her and brought her into the conversation because you were in a sinking ship because nobody came to your defense when you asked if you were racist. Elaine jumped in because you were getting frustrated with Cheryl, who you can tell was getting frustrated by the conversation, but could not show her pain because not only is she a Black woman, she's a dark-skinned Black woman. So she knows that she is on the chopping block every day she walks into that show. So Elaine jumped in to try to help. You lash out at Cheryl, you lash out at Elaine. Nobody set you up. Now, if it was a different scenario, if they are shuffling cards and asking you questions and going like this and then asking you a question, maybe it'll be a setup then. That was not a setup. You set yourself up. You should have said to the evil producer, oh, no, I don't want to do that. Can we prepare for that and I'll address it tomorrow? You could have said that. You said, no, I'll talk about it because you just knew that you were safe. You knew that you were fine. You didn't know that you was about to lose your job. So she says to Kevin that she has been set up. She said that CBS does not like Pierce because they had the Harry and Meghan interview with Oprah that was on CBS, and they were painting this narrative against Pierce. And because she came and defended Pierce, the studio now wanted to paint a narrative against her, and they wanted to get rid of her. They wanted to throw her out to the wolves. I'm gonna tell you this right now. And I always say this, ain't no network your friend. Ain't no TV show your friend when you're talent. It's a job. Ain't no job your friend, right? It's not a home. It's not a family. It's a job. You show up and you do your job and you get a check. At the end of the day, all they care about is money. You would have still been on your job even if you defended Pierce. Even if you said, well, I still don't agree, but that's my friend. Even if you said that, you would have kept your job. You know why you're not keeping your job? You know why they have shut down the show and extended the investigation? Because of you, because of your actions, because they had to pull out in a wide shot because you started cursing at a Black woman who was trying to explain racism to you at 68 years old. You don't know racism? As a white woman who's 68 years old, you don't know it? They had to pull out in the wide shot because they didn't want the audience to hear your curse words or read your lips because you were saying some awful and ugly things. Then we cut back to commercial. You are still leaning over, cussing that woman out. This Black woman who you called your friend, who called you a friend and was trying to protect you, even though you were not being a friend to her. Now, does the network get messy? Absolutely. If you watch the morning show, you know how it goes. Absolutely. But this was no setup to get Sharon out. No way was this a setup because of the Harry and Meghan interview and because Oprah, she's grasping at straws here. And she's grasping at the wrong damn straws. Because if I was her, I would have shut up. I would have shut up. I would have maybe put up a statement, did a little YouTube video with Cheryl and Elaine sitting next to me. I wouldn't have come back to the show. I would have said, I'm going to sit this one out because I need to do some learning. But I brought Cheryl and Elaine here not to redeem me, but to apologize to them because what I did was wrong. But you don't believe that anything that you did was wrong. You're still standing in your ignorance. Even on that interview, she was support Pierce. She doesn't agree with his statements, but she still supports him. Even after this check that how, Nyla says she probably don't need, but it's in jeopardy. It's no longer in jeopardy at this point because now you're coming after the network. Now, it would have been fine if you left it at your coworkers, even the Black ones. It would have been fine if you left it there. You probably could have been able to come back. They probably would have put you on hiatus and then brought you back in later because you do bring in people to the show. But now they got to cut ties with you because what's going to happen is, like I said before, the network doesn't run nothing but the show, right? And the people under them, right? Commercials, brands, companies run the network because what's going to happen now is the marketing team, the execs at Nabisco and Dove and what is that? Her Herbal Essence, because they're always playing a commercial after the talk. Pop-Tarts and all these people are calling CBS right now and saying, what are we going to do? Because what I don't want is my commercial to play after this one. I don't want, let us pull back a minute. I know I paid y'all $6 million, keep it, but let's put it on pause and I won't be renewing until I see where this show is going. That's what happens. And that's exactly what is going on now, right? So they already had the show on hiatus because they needed to do an investigation. So now CBS's HR is doing an investigation because they needed to see what had happened on that set on that day to make her act that way, right? So the show is supposed to be back today. Here is why it isn't. That Yashir Ali 2011 reporting that he did is now going viral and resurfacing. Holly Robinson Pete said something. Leah Remini said something. All these people are coming out saying how she's always been problematic and CBS has protected her. They already are trying to get themselves out of the dirt with the abuse that Les was doing at CBS for decades. So now they got to fix this situation. And the only way they can fix it is to get rid of the bad apple. They was probably going to put that broad on hiatus, still let her be on leave with pay. You sit your dumb behind down with Kevin Frazier and say that the network, who was probably still going to pay out your contract, was sabotaging you and set you up. They don't like money. Her and Chris Harrison don't like money. Her and Chris Harrison don't like money. I'm just like, girl, bye. And it also doesn't look good that the only people that you have come after are the Black women who have accused you of being racist or being problematic. You still ain't said nothing to Leah Remini. So are Leah Remini's claims true? Because you've never addressed anything that Leah Remini has said about you. And what we know about Leah Remini, she don't hold nothing back. She took on the Church of Scientology. You don't think that she can take on a Sharon Osbourne? That's why she's not coming back. Sharon, when the show comes back, it'll come back without Sharon Osbourne. She will be fired. Because when she brought the network in it, she created a war that she can't win. She can be worth $200 million. She not worth $200 billion. She can't fight that show, especially if she wants a career in media, which probably won't happen for a very long time. She made that bet, and she's still defending Piers Morgan to this day. She is still defending Piers to this day. She also said something very interesting in a lot of interesting things. But one of the things that she said was that she called Cheryl and Cheryl's not returning her phone calls. Would you? I'm glad she's not returning her phone calls. I think Cheryl's not returning her phone calls for two reasons. One, she's going to take her, well, a few reasons. We'll get into it. The first one is she was hurt by her friend because she was trying to protect that woman and she kept on calling her a friend. She was hurt by her friend because her friend could not see her pain. So as a Black person, that looks as if you're not acknowledging me and what I go through. So if I'm calling you a friend and you call me friend, that means you don't see all of me and you don't care about all of me. You only care about what I do to you or how I make you feel, how I entertain you, how I support you. But you don't care about the pain that's being caused to me by somebody you care about. So you don't really see me as a full friend. That's one reason why I think that's happening. Another reason is she can't talk to her because there's an investigation going on and she's the one being investigated. So, HR put a gag order on everybody. They can't talk. None of them can talk. Her and Elaine are probably, sneak talking like, girl, but she can't talk to her, like legally cannot talk to her. Another reason why she can't talk to her is because, listen, Cheryl, God's timing is always right. They're preparing her to take Sharon's position. Cheryl, you about to be the Whoopi Goldberg of The View. You better work. You better work. I hope you got a good lawyer who will negotiate a good contract for you, a good pay. Because they also got to give you insurance for the hell that you endured with Sharon. So they got to give you the lead pay because Sharon was the lead. They got to give you lead pay, but they also got to give you some pain pay for what you endured. But you better go. You better go. They're no longer friends at this point. There's no way. There's no way they can remain friends after what Sharon has done and after Cheryl takes her position. There's always somebody waiting in the wing. There's always somebody waiting in the wing. So Cheryl about to take Sharon's position. I think the next person to I think it'll go in a tier. It'll be Cheryl, then it'll be Carrie. And if she comes back, isn't she so blessed? She's so blessed and so lucky that she fortunately was out sick this week and missed all the mess. Oh my, I used to hate when I missed the mess at work. Looking at this situation, I'm like, I'm so glad that Carrie Ann wasn't there. Good for you, girl. Good for you. So, and Sharon, it's real petty of you to throw her under the bus because now people are bringing up that clip about her asking that question and she getting some unnecessary heat because that situation was already healed. You messy, but it's going to be Cheryl, it's going to be Carrie, then it's going to be Elaine, then it's going to be Amanda, and then it's going to be whoever the new girl is. I think the new person will probably either be a person of color who is of the LGBTQ community, or it will be a white person who is of the LGBTQ community. But I think they're going to go with a queer person to come in, and they need that perspective. But I think they might bring in somebody white to balance it out, so that Amanda doesn't feel overwhelmed. I'm not saying that she would, but optics. But yeah. That's why I think she is not coming back to the show because before I think they would have put her on ice like they're doing Chris Harrison right now. But after Chris Harrison did that interview with Michael Strahan, I was just like, I'm not sure. But after, you know what? Why are white people who are accused of racism? Why are y'all sitting down with these Black reporters to have this conversation? I'm gonna let you know right now, they ain't never on your side, as you can see. Kevin was just like, yeah, she was remorseful, but she did those things. Like Kevin was not trying to give her, any room to grow here, like any room to get back in the good graces of anybody that she offended. So listen, I shouldn't be helping you, but I'm gonna help you. If you're a white person and you did something problematic, Don't go to a black show. Don't go to a black host. They won't save you, okay? They will not save you. If I were you, I would just do a solo apology and go from there. And go on uncomfortable conversations with the black man. With that Emmanuel show, that might be the best kind of black person to redeem you. But I think the rest of them are not on your side. So, they shouldn't be, right? You did something very ignorant and offensive in this current day and age. You're not going to get redeemed by a lot of black people. But yeah, after she, did that interview and came with the CBS, I knew that they already had extended it because of the things that were coming out about her and the clips, the viral clips, and the reporting that was coming out about her. That's why they extended it. But I think they were just extending it to get information, to talk to everybody involved and find a path where they can keep the show the way it is. But Sharon has been on the show for a bit, over a decade. So she's expensive. I always tell you, networks are always trying to get rid of the expensive people. Always. It's not personal. It's just money, right? So you got to walk a fine line if you are somebody who the network pays a lot of money into. Matt Lauer never thought he would get replaced. He thought he would always keep that position. But you mess up a little bit and you costing them $20 million a year. They go and find a way to be like, you know what? Well, we don't really need to save them. That's $20 million we're getting back. Anybody can do that, right? So not only are you problematic, you're also expensive. And then you say that they are the ones who set you up to be the downfall for Pierce Morgan. Now you're bringing a network into it. She's not coming back. Shout out to the person from the LGBT community who was about to get a huge opportunity. They might rotate, temporary hosts for a minute, might bring somebody back who probably left because of her. Who knows? But I know one thing for sure, she's not coming back. Why would you go after the people that pay you? Why would you go after the network that gives you these multi-million dollars a year for 1 hour's worth of work? Not smart, not smart. So anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about with that. And that is how I have come to the conclusion that I don't think that Sharon Osbourne is coming back to the show. What do you guys think? I've talked long enough. What do you guys think? I also think that Julie Chen is probably on her way out. She was already, on ice because of Les. Now with that email of Holly Robinson Pete saying that she was racist and being a tyrant. Yeah, girl, I don't know. SW, thank you for the super chat. SW said, weed out these racists. It's time's up for all these fools. Time's up for awful people, period. But I absolutely agree with you, SW. Thank you so much for the super chat. Oh, Ellen Page. Oh, you know what? Elliot Page would be great, right? Elliot Page is too booked and busy. But, that would be a great addition to the talk. But Elliot Page is too booked and busy. If it was The View, Elliot Page might jump in and out like, I forget her name, but she only co-hosts on Fridays. But Elliot Page is too booked and busy. Prochian said expensive and problematic. What a combination. Who was Amanda and Kevin? Y'all, I done missed it because I was talking. I done missed it. JB says I think that Julie is fine on Big Brother. I would say that, right? If Holly Robinson Pete, if her email, if she didn't mention her and that didn't make the rounds, I would say that she is fine. I think she's fine right now because the heat is on Sharon. But if Sharon want to be messy and start talking the talk, she might be in issues. They're already trying to get rid of her though anyway because of Les. So she's already on thin ice. And she's expensive because she's been with Big Brother for a very long time. I'm telling you, the minute you become expensive talent on the show, walk lightly. Walk lightly. The minute a network starts paying me $20 million a year, they ain't gonna have a peep out of me. No problems. I said what? I offended who? Let's fix this right now. I was wrong. You don't even got to give me receipts. I'm sorry. Because I already know that I'm costing this network $20 million. They got to budget me in every season. I'm not messing with that check. Lily B said, I think Julie Chen will stick around because of her husband. Y'all know he was fired, right? Y'all know Les is no longer over CBS. And he wasn't even a head executive in charge. He was just the president. But there was a whole board who was over him. Proscian said, oh Lord, I don't know what Proscian's about to say. I'm reading it. Proscian said, this might get me canceled, but honest question, maybe we shouldn't label someone as racist and maybe say something like you were acting in a racist way. Oh shoot, Proscian, hold on. And acting in a racist way. You are acting in a racist way. People get defensive when they are called racist. I think you should call a thing, right? I think people need to be very clear, though, because of the implications of calling anybody racist or sexist, any negative label. I think you need to be very clear of what it is before you say it, because that could really damage somebody in the long run, in the short run as well. I think people need to be very clear, right? But call a thing. It's time's up for oppressed people being quiet about their pain and the things that they endure at work, at home, all across the globe, being quiet about these things because you felt powerless. Now these communities are feeling a sense of power and speaking on things. Call a thing, but be very clear about what you're doing and what you're saying. I think that's for everything. I think if you're going to call something or label somebody as something or accuse somebody of doing something that's extremely problematic and offensive, be very clear that it is what it is. If you're going to explain it, if you're going to break it down, be like Elaine and Cheryl, because they did that. They broke it down for her. She didn't want to hear it. She did not want educate me. They're trying to. You keep on yelling and cursing at them. So now you've made this environment toxic, and there cannot be any kind of conversation, because now people are on the defense because you are yelling and cursing at them. And then saying that they're your friend. Oh, my friend is not accepting my calls. What were you saying to her that was so horrible that CBS had to stop your audio and do a full pull out, a long shot of the show because they didn't want us to read your lips? You talk to your friends like that? Okay. And I also think that Julie Chen is still there because of the fans. William Burney said, Sharon bit the hand that feeds her. Oh, absolutely. What? Sammy said, did you hear about Sharon Osbourne giving people defecation in a Tiffany box? Oh, I've never heard of that, but I heard of that employee that she fired because he went into a burning house to get her stuff that she had set the house on fire playing with a candle with Ozzy. And she made him go into the house and get the stuff. He got in an argument with her because he didn't want to do it. He eventually went in and, almost died, was choking and everything from smoke inhalation. The next day, Sharon was making a joke about it and, teasing him about almost dying, getting her things. And he didn't think it was funny. So she fired him. And how we know this is because she said it herself. She was on this show in the UK, I believe, called Two Truth and a Lie or something. And they asked her if that story was true. And the only reason why they asked her if that story was true, because the story was so awful, everybody thought it would have been a lie. But she said, oh, no, it's true. She's giving this stuff out willingly. Nobody is digging this stuff up. It's out there. She said it. She's done it. Oh, what about Amanda Seales? What about her? Did she have a run-in with Sharon? Irene said Sharon should have just sat there and ate her food. Absolutely. Absolutely. Pseudo Chic said it's 50-50. Either she knew she wasn't going to be saved, so she put out that the producer was trying to set her up, or she got some serious dirt on someone, so she ain't scared. It also could be she is comfortable. She don't need the show. It was probably something that she wanted to do. Like here in LA, we have tons of rich people driving Uber or Lyft because they want to. They don't have no job. They don't have to work. They got a lot of money that they're sitting on They just want to like hang out with people. One guy was doing it because he wanted to learn English. Didn't need the money. I think he was driving a Tesla. That story went viral not too long ago. He didn't need the money, but he needed to learn English. She can say whatever she wants. She's comfortable. No consequences, really. So what, people on Twitter are going to cancel her? She's still going to be living wealthy. She's going to die wealthy. She's still going to have her wealthy, 1% community who is going to, behind doors, because they don't want to get canceled like her, are going to say, oh, girl, I agree with you. Oh, it's fine. You can still come to the Hamptons and stay at one of my palaces. Like, she'll be fine. So she probably said that because she has no fear of what? What's she going to lose? She's wealthy and white. What's she going to lose? Her job that she was just doing as a hobby? She'll be fine. So she can say whatever she wants to say. Goddess Godiva or Godiva. Goddess Godiva said, honestly, if there are racists sitting in front of the camera, they are all in HR and the executive room, which is why I thought she would have been fine. But she came after the network. You just don't do that. You just don't do that, which is why for Nene Leakes, I don't think there's ever a future for her again on Bravo until she apologizes and rights her wrongs that she did to the network by speaking out and calling the network racist. Even if it's true, right? Never, because you're going, just think about it in just layman's term, right? You're going after your employer, but you still think you're going to have a job with them? It's not going to happen. And yes, she's comfortable. Yes, she's wealthy. She got money. She don't got CBS money. She can't afford to fight them in court. She can do it for a couple years, but she's going to lose a lot of money that she will not be recouping because she's not working. I'm telling you, that woman was fine until she said the network set her up. She was fine until then. Vicky DC said, if they don't want to be called racist, then they shouldn't act racist. Them choosing to get defensive is just their way of playing victim. I agree with you. And I think that's also what I talked about in one of these lives, where it's, even if you I think I talked about in Basketball Wives, even if you think what you did is not racist or colorist or whatever, or any kind of ism, even if you think you did not do that, right? If somebody from the community is saying they felt some way about what you said, what's the harm in thinking it over and maybe looking back from a different lens with a different perspective and seeing if you actually did that? What's the harm even if you feel like you didn't do it, apologizing? Because I feel like I didn't do that, but you felt that way. So something I did or triggered, whatever it is, what's the harm in that? What are you losing? What are you losing by doing that? Nothing is lost in an apology. Amanda Seales was never a part of the talk, though. I don't think they would bring her on. There's no way they would bring Amanda Seales on. I'm not saying that she couldn't survive, but she had a really difficult time at that other show. What is that other show? It's not The Talk. It's not The View. It's something. The one with Lonnie Love and the Cheetah Girl. I don't think it would be a different environment for her over at The Talk. And I honestly think they're going to go with somebody queer or of the LGBTQ spectrum, and probably somebody white to balance out the race factor. Or they're probably going to go with somebody multiracial, to balance out the race factor at the show. Yes, Jessie Lee, she let you know I'm Julie Chen Moonves. And she started saying that after they fired her man. But I'm sticking by my man. Yeah, she's expensive. Julie expensive, but the fans love her. I'm telling you right now, the fans saved her job because they have been talking about Julie in less for a long time. It wasn't until Me Too that they were able to get rid of that man, but they have been talking about Julie. The streets been talking about her. This ain't nothing new. This ain't nothing new, but the fans saved her. That's one job that the fan base really saved, because when they were talking about if she was going to go down with Les, the Big Brother fan said, absolutely not. Not our Julie. Listen, a lot of times the fan base be doing the work. Oh, Claudia Jordan would be good. But again, they're not going to go with all that melanin. They already got enough on the show. And I'm on TV. Oh yeah, Prochy, and I get what you're saying. I didn't take any offense to that. JB says what says in the comments. I said, what happened with Amanda? Wait, Amanda Seals got into it with Kevin Frazier. Why? Kevin is such a sweetie, and I know, and from my interpretation and from my experience, I met him. He's such a great guy. The real. Thank you, Amirio J and Kaylane and Donna. Oh my God, he's such a good guy. I like Kevin. But again, I haven't met him a lot of times, but the times that I have met him, he's been a perfect gentleman, a great guy. And it hasn't been like anybody around, it's been like in private company. He's a great guy. What happened? Oh yeah, Goddess Godiva, or is it Godiva? Said, right, my mom used to call Asian people, I won't say what it is, but something very ignorant. I had to correct her on that, and we both learned after completing research. Be a better person today than you were yesterday. Absolutely. My grandmother, God rest her soul, when she was here, we had a little issue for a minute because her language was a little problematic. And I actually had to pull back from the relationship. And when when I would see her, I always make sure I correct her, to the point where she got so annoyed by it, we had to have a little space. When we had space again, I was, she was in a place of understanding because she wanted to, get it right with her baby. It wasn't like, oh, I don't talk to your girl. I'm not disrespectful. That did not happen. But it was like, that's my twin, my road dog. Like, I had to pull back from her, and I explained to her why. Like, you're being very ignorant and this is not okay. And she explained to me that, she meant no harm, but this was the language that was used back then. And I had to explain to her that was back then. This is today. We know, we have now learned that is not okay, because that community that probably didn't have a lot of power at that time, or voices were not heard and overlooked, are now speaking up and saying it now. And this is our time to listen and get that right. She got it right. I remember one time she said something and she didn't say the full word. She was in the middle of it and she stopped. And she looked at me and she asked me for the correct term, and I gave her the correct term. And she's like, yeah, thank you, baby. So, I mean, but it also has to be somebody who wants to do better. Some people are just awful, and they, miserable people love being miserable and love making everybody else miserable. It also has to be somebody who wants to be in that situation, wants to be better. So, but yeah, what happened with her and Kevin? He did an interview with her. Amirio J said Kevin tagged Amanda in an Instagram post where he interviewed Sharon. I did see that. I think, he wanted to have some race symposium. What is going on? It's always the black men with these uncomfortable conversations. We don't need to be, is this Semporium? I don't even think I'm saying the right words. We don't need to, listen, I always say it is not the responsibility of the oppressed to educate the oppressor. I think that is a job of allies, especially if you are from that community. That is your job to, educate. I don't think it's us, because it's way too much pain. It's way too much pain, and I don't think it'll be a healthy conversation. That's why I always say, I'm very honest about it. I'm not the black person to come to for understanding. Right? I'm the black person we can have a conversation after you understand and you want to know, like, what's the right way to go. But I'm not going to sit here and have a debate with you about my humanity. Because at that point, because for me, racism is pure violence. So I'm not talking to you with my mouth. It's going to be hands first, period. Because you're assaulting me now. Right. So I'm honest about that. I can love having these conversations with you, because I believe that people who are attracted to me want to do better or want an understanding and, are not coming here to be ignorant. We only get like a few, but that's a few, right? I really think that there are good people here. So we can have that conversation. But if you want to be like, oh, no, the Holocaust is a fake, it never happened. Oh, I'm not the one. I'm not the one. Slavery was over exaggerated. Oh, okay. You can't talk to me. You cannot talk to me. We can have a conversation. Hold on, fam. Oh, what time? Oh, probably got to get out of here. I do. Hey, mama. I'm still on live. Hey, mama. I'm actually wrapping up my live. What's up, my love? I'm good. I'm actually about to wrap up. All right. Love you. Bye-bye. She's such a good person. I love my mommy. I actually did an audition, and she was trying to help me with the audition, but the only reason why I didn't let her help the audition is because I was talking about her, and I couldn't talk about her in front of her, but I was just talking about how amazing of a mom I have. And I think I maybe let her watch the audition, but I got a good mom. Yeah, I like Claudia, guys. I really do like her. I think she's killing it over at Fox Soul. That's where I think she needs to stay, because Fox Soul is very new. It's still getting a lot of attention. I think she can really grow there. I think she can grow there and really be a powerhouse. I don't think she's good for the talk, because I just don't think they're looking black. Or somebody with, such deep not deep, but somebody very melanated. They're not looking that way. And I'm just talking in, context of TV, not what's right or what's wrong. This is TV. They are going to want to mix it up. They don't want the show to be too colored. That's, they don't want to be the real. They want to be the talk. So I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening on CBS. Oh, well, I got to read what Amanda said. Did she respond in a Facebook, an Instagram comment, or did she respond in a video? Oh, yeah, I saw what she said about Sharon, but I didn't see her say anything about Kevin. But good night, William. Thank you. Oh, yeah. So then JB says, well, she probably wouldn't be good because people are going to pull her receipts. Oh, thank you. I Am Awesome Productions. Glad you're here. Oh, you know what? This is the thing, right? And the only reason why I'm not going to say it is because I'm not of that community. And I feel like I still should be, if I had that conversation, I need to have that conversation with someone who is trans, who can lead the conversation, and I'll just support them. But that little mama's comment, why does that child bring out the ugliest in adults? Why are they so concerned about Dwayne Wade's daughter? I don't understand. Why does she trigger so much in you? Are you mad that that's a black carefree child who got more money than you'll ever have? I'll see if I can. It's COVID. I don't think I want to do something like that. I'm not yet comfortable, collabing in person. So I'll see. I'll reach out to one of my friends to see if they want to have that conversation, because little mama, you're so young. So sad that you're so ignorant on something like that when your generation is actually the generation leading the charge. Oh wait, are you a millennial? You should know better. I'm disappointed. Okay, I have to watch. You know what? Let me, because she's not here yet. So let me go to her Instagram. Let me go to Amanda's Instagram. Why is it so hard for me to find her Instagram? Particularly because I'm spelling her name wrong. Hold on.
So it was just brought to my attention that Kevin Frazier interviewed this cretin, Sharon Osbourne. A lot of folks who are in his...
Sorry. Hold on. I love her. I love Amanda. Amanda will be Amanda in any aspect. I love her.
Kevin Frazier interviewed this cretin, Sharon Osbourne, and gave her a softball interview, just not asking her any real hard questions.
It's like 6 minutes. I'm not going to play the whole thing.
And decided in his caption when he posted on Instagram to tag myself, Holly Robinson Pete, and Cheryl Underwood in an effort to have a kumbaya teaching moment for this trash ass woman who doesn't even feel like she needs to abide by the basic laws of civility, let alone in a professional setting. And I'm wondering why do so many brothers, particularly in this entertainment business, feel the need to lay their coat down across troubled waters to help these white folks who don't give a fuck about us? First of all, it is not the responsibility of black folks to educate white folks on how they cannot be trash ass folks. Okay? They fucking made up racism. Why the fuck we gotta teach you how to not be racist? To expect us to do that and to, as a black person, try and rally up folks into that space is one, just foolish and also not respectful of our time and of our energy. I don't got the time. I'm on my trampoline. And on another level,
I'll tag the rest of it because it's pretty, not pretty long, but I'm actually about to get out of here. I love Amanda. I know that, people got an issue with her, but I think a lot of people have an issue with, just a black woman not being silent, not even just a black woman, a woman, period. Any woman that, is not meek is a problem, right? I love her. I don't always agree with her, but that's my girl. That is my girl. Yes, guys, before y'all get out of here, please get these likes up. Thank y'all so much for joining me. Before I get out of here, does anybody that I haven't addressed want to say something? Michelle J said, side note, I know we're dragging Kevin, but side note, Kevin Frazier should do the 90-day tell-all. He should. I think he's a great host. I really, really do believe that. William, see, this is the thing. Priyanka, she's not going to do the talk. She would do the view, right? But she's not going to do the talk. And I think she would just come in every now and again and do the talk. That's not her speed. She wouldn't do it. She wouldn't do it. They're going to need to find like an unknown to really step in there, like kind of known, but unknown from the LGBTQ community. Somebody a lot younger than everybody, probably somebody, probably a Zennial, to, lay the land in that area. I think that's what they're going to do. Robin said, Amanda has a degree in Black history and Kevin tagged her. She told him, don't tag her because she's not going to educate us. She responded with the video. Yeah, I just saw it. Yeah, I'll let her see it. But I was like getting emotional. I'm talking about the audition. I was like getting emotional in it. And I don't know. I'm more comfortable with like a strange casting director seeing it than my actual mom. Yeah, guys, I will try to do a video, but again, I will only be comfortable having that conversation with somebody who's of the trans community. Listen, I tried to be an ally, you know what I mean? I say try because I'm not going to say that I am perfect and I get it all the time. But every day is a journey and I try, but I just don't feel like I have the space to speak. I can support and throw a little straight opinion in there, but I think that conversation needs to be led by somebody of the trans community. So I'll see. Keke Palmer, again, Keke Palmer would do the view. I don't see Keke Palmer doing the talk after she had just got off a gig having her own little semi-show on Good Morning America. Not saying that I think she's better than the talk, but I just think she would want to go another way. I haven't seen. Oh wait, Sarah, I think I might do a batch chat about that because I have not seen the men from Katie's season. I didn't know that they were out. I didn't know that. Jay Marie said, "Why LGBTQ?" Darlene from Rosanna's on there. They have a black. Wait, is she? I don't think she's on there anymore. Sarah Gilbert is still on the show. I thought it was just Carrie Ann, Amanda. Sharon, Cheryl, and what's her name? Elaine. If Sarah Gilbert is on there, then fine. If she's still on there, then I think they might just go younger. But I thought she left the show a really long time ago, and I thought she left the show because of Sharon. Gabrielle Union, again, she would not do the talk. We have to find somebody who is not, who won't have to get the same paycheck that they cut Sharon from. You know what I mean? So they're probably going to bring somebody in who is looking for exposure, who will probably take a little medium check until, they become, a little bit more popular. What Rachel? Rachel Cocarno? Yeah, William, she's an executive producer. She's still getting a coin. But I don't think that she will come on. Oh, you know what? Aisha Tyler would be good. Wasn't she on the talk before, though? She may be good. She may be good. Oh, she left due to the Roseanne reboot. Okay. Thank you for clarity. Who actually said that? She left for... Who said that? I want to give you credit for that. I'm sorry. The comment jump. I can't see it. Oh, thank you, Simply Simone. Oh, Wendy Sims 31, but that's why they will pick her. But they can't afford Keke Palmer. Or I'm not saying they can't. They don't want to pay somebody who's so known. I think they want to go a bit unknown. Miss H said, not trans, but a proud bi woman. Just have to say, I hate that society keeps trying to find like the president of trans. Oh, I don't know what that means. I hate society keeps trying to find like the president of trans or LGBTQ folk. I don't know what that means, sis. Are you trying to say like a representative? If that's what you're trying to say, that's TV. That's just TV, especially with something like The Talk. They can't have all white people on there or all Black women on there. Or, you know what I mean? Like they have to show literally that they're being diverse. Miss H said, we have no spokesperson, but I think anyone is better than Caitlyn Jenner. Again, they wouldn't want to go with the Caitlyn Jenner anyway because of the price, but absolutely not. Yeah, they wouldn't go for a Caitlyn Jenner. It wouldn't. All right, Aisha Tyler left the show. Maybe it's time for her to come back. Especially if they're talking a bit more money. But again, I don't think they'll go Black. I like her, but I don't think she'll go back. I don't think she'll go back. If anything, they might bring a guy in. That might be controversial, but it'll get people watching. Tyra Banks, I don't think they want to go with somebody so well known, especially with Tyra getting that Dancing with the Stars money. They're going to have to pay Tyra. I don't think they want to do that. Nikita Dragon is too problematic, Tony. She would get, the day they announce that they're like interviewing her, she would get canceled. So, Brianna Joy Gray would be interesting. She would be interesting. Bayo Wu, who's that? Is that? Oh, okay. Oh, I got to check this out. I might do a batch chat about that. I don't know Dominique Jackson. Janet Mock would be great if she wasn't so melanated. Again, guys, I'm just talking in TV. You're talking to somebody who got cut from a show because I was too brown. Or not that I was too brown. The show was too brown. They had to cut some of the brown. I was the brown. So I'm giving y'all honest TV talk. Who is Dominique Jackson? See, y'all be keeping me on here. Look, I said I was getting off like 15 minutes ago. Dominique Jackson. Oh, let me not try to type this. Dominique Jackson. Oh, Dominique. Yeah. Black. It's not. I hate to say, but I'm honestly, I'm not talking right, wrong. I'm talking TV. I'm talking TV. Oh, I love Dominique. They won't go. Who is that beautiful trans woman who was in Hustlers? Who is she? She might be good. She might be good. Who? She might be really good. What is her name? And after this, I got to get off here. Trace Lissette, I believe. Yes, Trace Lissette. Go. Stunning. Trace. I think Trace would kill. Trace might be a little too old though for what they're looking for. Not old, but talking TV. I think they would probably want a Zennial, but Trace would be a good pick. Would be a great pick. Yeah, Prochian. How about a trans YouTuber? Absolutely. Somebody looking for more exposure who will not be expensive and fits their diversity quota that they're looking for. Absolutely. But Trace is my pick. Denise, they can't. They don't want to go that big. With Regina King, she's an Oscar winner. They're gonna have to pay her. Lisa Ray, I don't think they're gonna go black. No, nope. I don't think anybody black, guys. I really don't. I think somebody of the LGBTQ community who is either white passing multiracial or white. I think they're going to try to balance out the show by race. And if you can do it in, you win in that area, if not only do you balance it out by race, but you balance it out by somebody of the LGBTQ spectrum. Or Tracy Edmonds would be great. Again, they're going to have to pay her. She's an EP of so many shows. They're going to have to pay her. Trace is in her 30s. Oh, okay. Trace has been around a lot. Maybe that's why. It doesn't, Trace doesn't look, old to me. I'm not saying that. But I've been seeing Trace for a very long time. So Trace was doing grown things when Trace was really young. Because I got introduced into ballroom when I was very young. So I've been seeing Trace for a very long time. Had no idea that Trace was in her 30s. Ma'am, you've been grown for a minute. Goddess Godiva said they had Eve and Cheryl at the same time. But now you have Eve, Cheryl, and Elaine. That's 3 black women. Because Elaine identifies as black. Sarah Paulson, again, they're going to have to pay her. Y'all have to Trace is perfect. Trace will want more exposure, but y'all are giving people, yeah. I didn't want to say it. Thank you, J. Marie. J. Marie said, we need C-listers, y'all. Y'all keep on giving me these people that they're going to have to pay like what they're paying Sharon Osbourne now. We need somebody that they have to pay before, Sharon Osbourne's first season and even a little bit less than that. I'm not surprised that Pierce is calling out Soprano too. Caitlyn JoJo would be amazing if she weren't so young. And again, they're going to have to pay that girl. They're going to have to pay her. Yeah, but it can't be somebody black. But I would love Peppermint. Peppermint is great on the show. T.S. Madison will be great, but T.S. Madison, 1, is too urban, and 2, and I'm talking to TV family. I'm talking to TV. It's black. They are going to go another way. They're not going to go black. No, yeah, Eve is in London. I think she has a very successful radio show, right? She is, or is it a podcast, or is she actually on the radio? Michelle Rodriguez. Let me see what her IMDb is. And then this is it. I really got to go. But I'm still with Trace. That's still my pick. Michelle Rodriguez. Let me see her IMDb. If she's doing another Fast and Furious movie, I'm telling you right now, they can't afford her. Because they are making bank off of that franchise. Let's see her IMDb. What, does she have anything coming up? No, no, they can't afford her. She's about to do another Fast and Furious that she's already wrapped, and she's about to do a Dungeon and Dragons trilogy. Y'all going to have to pay Michelle. No way. No way. Problem from the OC. Sammy. Now Sammy. I'm glad you put that LOL after that. Oh, Michelle is problematic? Pink. No, they can't afford Pink. Again, CBS. I'm not saying you can't afford her. I'm just saying I don't think they want to pay that much money. Yeah, she booked and busy. Michelle, not going to be around. Kimberly Clark. I love Kimberly Clark. What I'm not gonna buy. I love Kimberly Clark. Kimberly would be great, but I don't think Kimberly is trans. I don't think that Kimberly is trans, but Kimberly would be great. You know what, LS? They might. LS, Bethany may be a good pick. Bethany may be a good pick. Fergie, which Fergie are we talking about? Royal Fergie or Black Eyed Peas Fergie? That might be a good pick too. Black Eyed Peas Fergie. Yeah, Michelle is getting that money. She's about to do a Dungeons and Dragons trilogy. You know that movie's gonna go on and on and on. So she's gonna have Fast and Furious and Dungeons and Dragons. They don't want to pay her what they gonna have to pay her. America, no, I don't think America will work, but Bethany will work. Pamela Anderson, she will work, but she wouldn't last. Nasby said Bethany, after what she tweeted about Megan the other day, causing folks to drag her. Let me tell you something. If they even bring Bethany in, the reworking that she's going to do, she would do what she need to do. She would do what she need to do to get in the right Catherine from Southern Charm. Absolutely not. Lee Delaria. Who is Lee Delaria? Who is Leah Delaria? Look at us casting. Guys, we have to stop helping these shows out if they're not going to pay us. Leah Delaria is good. Trace is still my number one, but Leah Delaria would be perfect. Would be perfect. If she wants to do it, though. She's been working, like I've seen her and stuff since I was a child. So she got money. I don't know if, she will want to, I think she's comfortable. I don't think she will want to get back into that, but, it might work. Denise Richards, I don't know. I'm not sure about Denise Richards, but Leah Delaria and, especially Leah Delaria being a gay icon. Leah Delaria and Trace, those are my picks. Those are my picks. Because Leah would get them together. Oh, if Leah and Sharon was on the same season, baby. Jonathan Van Ness. Oh, wait, y'all giving me all these good people. Who is Jonathan Van Ness? Jonathan, let me see. Nah, they're not going to go with a man. Even if he's gay, they're not going to go with a man. Oh my God. Guys, they still got to keep the evangelical housewives. They still got to give them something to tune into. A man is here? Absolutely not. Cardi B, they're not going to want to pay for Cardi B. Jazz Jennings, that name sounds familiar. Ooh, I like Jazz. Jazz is talking TV to Brown. Talking like I don't think they're going to go ethnic. I don't. Leah and Trace, we're doing good. We got to go white, and we have to go somebody who is in the LGBTQ spectrum. They either have to be a boomer or a zennial. What do we have? Tia Mowry? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Kojo. We got Kojo. Who is Kojo? This is a man. Who is Kojo? JoJo. Oh, I was just like, him? Yeah, JoJo is too young. And again, you have to go with somebody who they're not going to have to pay that much. But they will pay out for somebody like Leah, right? They'll pay out for Leah. Candace Kane. Oh, we're getting good. We're getting good. Candace Kane. Candace Kane. A trans icon. We're getting good. What is her name? I just saw a clip of it's not, I don't know if it's it was not CBS. It's not, what is her name? Crap. She did an interview with I forget her name. She's a ballroom icon, and she was talking to the interviewer about walking face. And she was just like, so if I'm walking face and I show you everything about me, I show you nose, it's in the nose, right? And then I'm serving you cheekbones, so I'm giving you cheekbones. And then she said, and I'm showing you, I'm giving you jaw, I think she said, and jaw, like she walked her through it. She would be great. If I find it, I'll put the clip in here. But I was like, oh, you're good. And the interview was just like, did you just give me ballroom? She was just like, yes. She would be good. She would be good. Jordana Brewster, she would be good. Jordana Brewster would be good. But again, is she doing Fast and Furious? If she's doing Fast and Furious, no. Naomi Campbell, they're going to have to pay her. They're not going to do it. Rosie O'Donnell, no. She's not going to go from hosting The View, being the lead host, to doing the talk. Silky Nutmeg Ganache, I would love that, but that's not going to happen. Candace Kane would be great. Candace Kane. Oh, yeah, y'all gave me Candace Kane. You guys are holding me hostage. Cheekbone. Oh, she killed that. She killed that. Erica Marie Lee Pagan gave you girl a super chat. She says, doesn't have to be here, but any quick thoughts about the Violence Against Women Act being opposed by Republicans? Not a quick thought. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. You all have to realize that. I'm not saying that these Republicans don't believe that, but guys, a lot of, politicians, no shade, fell performers, right? If you do a quick research into all of them, you will find that they all had a theater pass. These people are catering to a crowd, even if they don't believe, right? Even if that crowd opposes who they are, they have to do with the people who put them in the position want them to do. Even if they don't do it all, they got to do enough so they can run on that again, because it's a very cushy job. It's a very cushy job. You start off making $100,000 a year. Cushy job. And you have access to more ways of making money, and you're barely held accountable. So I'm not surprised by that at all. It doesn't shock me. I was just like, oh, okay, we just got to fight harder. Bridget Nielsen, they can't control her. Bella Thorne can't control her, and they're also going to have to pay Bella. Allison Holker would be great. Is Allison Holker fluid or bisexual? Jodie Sweetin. Jodie Sweetin. Jodie Sweetin is an American actress and television personality. She was no Stephanie Tanner. You know what? Will they go conservative? Okay, are we shaking the table? Jodie Sweetin. You know what, Jodie? I'm sorry. I'm not saying you're conservative. I was just really assuming because of your TV sister. But let me not put that on you. Because, you are a little... Oh, Elizabeth! Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the Cash App. I had no idea. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you. You know what? We're shaking the table because I'm thinking that they're going to go young and LGBTQ and white. They may go boomer or millennial white conservative, because Amanda doesn't really fit in there. She's giving me neutral. Amanda's giving me neutral. So we may, hey, let's go. Come on and shake the table. Come on and shake the table. So maybe Allison might be back in the game. Oh, So, Dindal, I hear you, but I disagree. I watched that episode. Sharon brought that on herself. Sharon brought that on herself by looking at everybody on the cast and saying, "Am I a racist?" She started that off. She should not have agreed to opening up the show discussing her problematic tweet about Pierce. So you are more than welcome to have your opinion, but I'm more than welcome. I am more than welcome to disagree. Ava Navarro. Oh no, she's on a View. She's getting View coin. She's getting View and CBS and CNN coin. She's not going to do it. Chrissy Teigen, no, they're not going to go. Carney Wilson. Carney Wilson is good, Caitlin. Carney Wilson is good. Oh, not me. Oh, not me. Because I'm going to tell you right now, Sharon Osbourne couldn't have talked to me like that. I wouldn't have, listen, I would have been like, you know what? I'm thankful for this check, but I'm not going to show up to work and deal with this. I'm not going to show up to work and be traumatized every day. I know me. I'm not that yet seasoned on TV and that kind of environment to hold my tongue. Elaine has been doing, TV shows for a while. Cheryl has been doing TV shows for a while. I'm not sure that all of Philly is out of me yet. Right? So I don't know if I would have sat there and shuffled my cards. I think I would have cussed her. Educate me. How? Educate yourself. They would have had to pull out for me as well. I don't know. Nikki said, you're just not trying to give Wendy from Real Housewives of Potomac a chance. Oh, I think Wendy would be great, but Wendy is Black and straight. I'm telling you, we're going white. And we're either going LGBTQ or we're going conservative. That's what I think is happening. I don't think that we're going to go any other way than that. I could be wrong. Jodie Foster. Jodie Foster is so set up. She works when she feels like it. Jodie is like sitting at home on all her money and just being like, you know what, I'm bored. Maybe I'll do a movie and get an Oscar nomination. That's Jodie Foster's life. Oh, I love her. If anything, I think they're just going to go really new. I gotta go. Don't get me in trouble. Hello? It's going. I'm saying goodbye to everybody right now. I stayed on a bit longer. Oh, it's tea. Let me say goodbye to everybody because I'm gonna keep you on hold because when you got tea, I gotta get the tea. So I'm gonna keep. Can I call you back in like 1 second? Like two, give me a minute. All right, love you. Bye. Girl, it's some tea. I gotta go. Anyway, I love y'all. I've had a great time. Thank you, everybody who has joined me in the chat. Make sure when you leave with your likes. Rose McGowan would be great. Who said that? Goddess, go Diva, go Diva. Rose McGowan would be great. Who? Josie Rachel Dolezal. I love you. Drew Barrymore has her own show. That's not going to go away because Drew Barrymore is funny and quirky, and everybody, the show goes viral every time because of Drew. Get the tea, Nikki, because of Drew Barrymore. Kristen Stewart is a movie star. That's not. I don't think they're going to look to pay her that much money. But guys, I've had a great time. We have, I hope that if you leave here, if you didn't have any understanding, a bit understanding, and I hope that we all leave here working on being better people because nobody is perfect, but we can all work to be better. I love you guys. I thank you all so much for taking time out of your day to spend with me. It means a lot. Thank you for how you supported me, how you continue to support me, whether it being a Cash App or liking or sharing, whatever it may be. It means a lot to me. You guys are life changers for me, especially. I love you all. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you tomorrow. Oh, not tomorrow. I don't know when I'll see you. Most definitely Sunday, but y'all know it's my sister's birthday this weekend. So I don't know, but I'll try my best to get to you guys soon. Love you so much, family. Mean it from the bottom of my heart. I'll see you soon. Bye. Mwah. I'm still on Trace. I think it's going to be Trace. That's my suggestion, but we will see. Love y'all. Let me get the tea.